of Syria Orthopedics for the past 6 years, and I'm very happy that all of you, particularly my teachers, professors, mentors, everybody is here for this workshop today. And we actually enjoyed every bit of working towards organizing this particular robotic workshop. For the past 6 years, working as a team, we've been into joint placements thoroughly. And for the past 5 years, we have been operating computer-navigated joint placements. And recently, we have taken this fully robotic system from Smith & Nephew for joint placement surgeries, which is a very most advanced robo for joint replacements presently available. And the good thing is it's very, very compact, because previously the robots used to be very huge, and using it for multiple reasons, it was very difficult. But now it is very easy to shift it from OT to OT and left to right and everything. It's very easy. So it's as compact as just a very small laptop. All the software is in this console. So we are once again, I'm very happy, and thank you everyone for making yourself available for this workshop. And I asked Sir to so this is the first session of this workshop, sir. I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you, Srinivas. And I must congratulate the team led by Dr. Satish Raju and the team from this particular team, Satish Raju, and all our students. I'm very happy that all the PG students are working with Satish Raju at present, including Srinivas, Santosh, Satish, Samir, all of them. So we should enjoy this particular cutting edge technology, and they are on the front runner side, because we have started with the computer navigation. Now they are coming with this particular robotic, and we should definitely enjoy this particular technology. What is very important is precision with our hands is definitely this robotic is definitely better than this particular robotic. So let us enjoy this being demonstrated by Srinivas and Ujjwal also.
System, and he is from Delhi, so he'll help you in understanding all the technical details of the system.
Good morning all. As said, I'm Ujjwal. So I'm application and technical head for Cori system covering Pan India. So before we start, there is a small video of Cori. I will take you through that. It's always the surgeon's decision what to take. Of course, it will guide the surgeon, and whatever surgeon's plan, it will execute exactly as the same guide. So before going on to the software, I just review the hardware part. So this is the infrared camera. It's only camera which is available in Smith & Nephew, under the Smith & Nephew second generation robot. It's an Atraxis camera. All other robotic system, even what we were having before the Navio system, it was having the Polaris NDI camera. Now this is, you will see during the procedure, this camera is 458% faster refresh rate. That means whatever we'll do on board at real time, that will be happening on the system. This is the monitor. So there are two monitors. One is this and the other one is the tab. Both are touch screen. So either a person from the non-sterile zone can also operate, and inside surgeon can keep it near the patient. That can be draped and can be used as well. There is the mind of robot, that is console. With this console we have pump, so irrigation and suction get connected to the handpiece itself. Then we have other controls here. We have three connections, one for tab, one for handpiece and one for the foot pedal. So 90% of the work during the surgery is done with the foot pedal. Only 10%, that is the planning part, is done with the help of the screen, either on this monitor or on the tab. So far, they are specific to only one implant, but here we can do all the implants. As of now, the system can be used for TKA and UE. So UKR and TKR both can be done. In future, we have used foot pedal only. So that black one is my legs. The small middle is my back, and orange will get activated whenever required. So now from here onwards, most of the time till planning, I won't be using the screen. I'll be using my foot pedal. So I am just doing next. On this screen we see that our camera is connected, foot pedal is connected, and my robotic drill is connected. Then we unlock the burr. Burr comes out. Just lock it. Press the next button. Gently pull the burr to check if it is fine. I am pressing the next button. And now I am calibrating if my burr is aligned with the robotic drill. To calibrate, you just push it inside, hold it like this and press the calibrate button. So my burr goes inside. Then system calibrate, since it's an image-free system, you have to register each and everything with this point code. The system will calibrate if my point code is perfectly aligned. And then I do a test spin while pressing the orange button. So my robotic drill is working fine. So you see, this system won't require much time for booting up. Now this camera only sees these flat markers. All the other stuff except flat markers are autoclavable. That can be reused. Only the flat markers are available. So we define the checkpoints. At this point, system is basically defining these checkpoints with respect to the bony surface, and it calculates the distance from all the four markers. So in case during surgery these markers are moved, system will detect and it won't let you go further. So once this is done, we collect melinix, medium melinix, lateral melinix, and the knee. So now what system has done, it joined the two malleolar lines, dropped the line from the tibia knee center. So that defines the tibia axis. For femur axis, femur knee center, and the hip position. So here comes first difference when we talk about conventional and robotic system. With the conventional, we generally take the anatomical axis. Now anatomical axis varies from 5 degree to 12 degree to 15 degree as well, with respect to mechanical axis. But in the system, we are taking actually knee center and the hip center, which is defining, we are starting from the mechanical axis. The neutral position for the deformity of the knee, the range of motion, and then comes the beautiful part of mapping the bone. So I am just pressing my black foot pedal and painting. Yeah.
You did not register the tibia center, no?
I registered the tibia center.
You registered?
Yeah.
Before the malleolar?
No, after the malleolar. Just after
Tibia
the
center
malleolar.
you registered?
Yes.
Tibia center also?
Yes, yes. So yeah, what system does is I just. So yeah. Yeah. So I registered my tibia knee center, femur knee center, the part of mapping. So I hold it like a pen and start mapping on the bony surface. So once I start, it will automatically create a 3D model of including all the deformities of the bony surface the way it is. So if I lift my foot pedal at this point of time, it will show me the blue portion which is compulsory for the reading, measurements and all. So we can collect those points. So this is my distal surface, my posterior surface, face to the 3D model to the system. On this, if the surgeons want to change the implant, they can directly click on here. They can change the implant in between the platforms. They can change the femur size if surgeon doesn't feel like it is a adequate size. They can increase or they can reduce the size. Similar goes for the tibia and the poly. So the poly does not make a major role here, but when we will take the gap assessment, that time it will make a. Here it is showing flexion range, my pre-op varus and valgus, and my post-op alignment. Also, I can press this I button at any point of time. This shows me the patient's report with the implant, which implant we are using, pre-op alignment, plan alignment, my pre-op flexion range, and the other data we will do post-gap assessment and post-trial. Now this is the solid view. We can also see it as a CT scan. So now on this screen, the yellow surface is the bony surface which we have mapped. Gray is the cross section. And when I move my finger up and down, you can actually see my medial lateral coverage with the implant. So this is, and then when we go to surgical view, we can actually see my lateral coverage. And if I move my finger up, I can see my medial coverage also. Similar goes with the tibia. So now since it's overhanging anteriorly, I can posteriorize my tibia. These are my posterior cut, the distal cut, and the tibia resection. So right now I did nothing, but I just placed my femur and tibia between the bony surface. We can see only cuts if you want to see. We can see implant over a bony surface. So here we can see like we are only covering the deformed part of femur and tibia with the help of implant. Once this is done, we go on to the next screen. So on this next screen, our x-axis is the flexion range of motion. 0, 30, 60, 90 and 120. Above is the laxity, below is the tightness. So when I put varus and valgus stress throughout the range of motion, there will be two graphs which will be creating, in one in orange and one in purple. Orange will reflect my medial laxity or tightness. Purple will reflect my lateral laxity or tightness. This NN is the neutral position, the initial position which we registered, and you will see a white line as well. So this will show me the current position where I am. You can see this white line moving throughout the range of motion. Since it's a sawbone, it will be a little bit difficult to get the varus and valgus, but still I So it shows that in extension, my both lateral and medial are laxed. It's above the graph, and on the 90-degree around full flexion, it is going tight on both medial and lateral sides. So when I press continue, we can actually see my extension is 2.7 and 1.1 mm lax on medial and lateral side. My flexion is around 3 mm. Generally, we can reduce the distal, and as I press interiorizing, my distal cut changes, and along with my gap also changes. Similarly, either I can interiorize the femur, but interiorizing the femur will of course put a flange in the air, so we can reduce one size and then we can posteriorize the femur. So in this case, this is the ideal case where there will be no soft tissue release. Now this also gives the surgeons the facility to decide either they have to conserve the soft tissue or conserve the bone. There will be a cases where we cannot go above resection. So we have to do the releases on the soft tissue. So how much release has to be done? That figure we can guess from. Yeah, so this is the whole planning. Intuitive, more practical user interface, more advanced. Once this is done, we go into the, so one more feature is there. If in case I am posteririzing my femur, and if it start notches, it will show me the notch is started from this point. So it shows the surgeon from where it is started. Then we go on to the next thing. As I said, we can do burr all. We can use distal burr, the hybrid technique, where we do distal burring. Then we put 4-in-1 cutting block like this and take the other cuts as well. Then we can go on to the next. Similarly, we can plan for TK as well, how the coverage is, and then we can go to the. So from planning to execution, system will ask to re-verify the checkpoint. So while re-verifying the checkpoint, it makes sure that our brand markers are not moved. So if there would be an error, it won't allow us to come into the next step. This is ready to cut. Now on this, you can see there are 3 colors. So pink shows the bone which is more than 3 mm to be dissected. Blue is more than 2 mm. Green is 1 mm and white is the desired cut. So from registration to planning, it hardly takes some time. Now, the good part about this handpiece is surgeon can hold this handpiece according to their flexibility. The markers are 180 degree rotated. So when I press my orange foot pedal now, my burr gets activated. Since I am cutting my femur, if I put it on tibia or any other outer surface, it will not. The burr will only come out when it is in a cutting area. So you can see. And it will automatically stop when it reaches the white surface. So you can get a smooth surface as well. Similarly, we can cut the whole distal cut. Then we can take 4-in-1 cutting block, or we can cut the whole thing. Now, the execution part, as I said, the accuracy of the system is 0.1 mm. So whatever we have planned, it won't allow you to cut. For example, if I am at white surface and I am pressing more, it won't allow the burr to come out. Also, if I am out of the surface, there are some things which are protected throughout the surface. I would request them to serve. That 0.2 mm is the variation from what distance that we have. 0.6 is the Barras and Rivers, and 0.0 is the fraction from the variation.
What చెప్పాలంటే we can train technicians young apprentices MSI పిల్లలు కూడా Sunshine Hospital there young technicians Sunshine colleges and technicians will be there. They'll be showed how to operate this thing and depend on the road. All the steps they'll tell them you this step, next step, next step, next step, next step. On the day 8 days mostly young surgeons are not senior ones who used to do delinquent paralysis. All ఏం చేస్తారంటే సీక్వెన్స్గా 1 hour complete ఈ స్టెప్ నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ డిక్టేట్ take care of India. So that way, road is highly reliable. Navigation was reliable to the extent of 70%. Alignment power change and liquid balance the heat and the difference between This is excellent for evening. Good enough for young orthopedic surgeons. In an orthopedic surgeons, it doesn't matter manual technique or but I choose you. The alignment accuracy, 0 means 0, immediately. We have a meal. But it's taking 30 minutes extra, right? 30 minutes. Because you are not around 22 kg. So it's taking 30 minutes more time because we are using for I think in another 20 cases we want to bring it down.
So for example, it has moved, but then we need check. What system is calculating all the forces? For example, if I'm putting them and try to show me how much distance I have moved. It won't allow.
Micro mishandling జరిగి అలా సిల్వర్ పాయింట్ దగ్గర entire disposables including plastic sheeting is 40%. Roughly we have to be prepared with for each case around 15,000. And up to 3 cases వస్తారు probably. So each it will cost 15,000 ఒక సెట్ 3 cases వస్తుంది. 40,000. And it is good enough if somebody wants to become only joint replacement surgeon. When you put this, when you handle, see that you can touch this. So the burr will take how much it has to come.
Okay.
So that's the way we operate. This has to be touched up. Don't worry, even if skin goes, bone goes, no problem.
Okay.
But this has to touch that.
ఎక్కువ హోల్ చేస్తుంది కదా అందుకని ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది అవన్నీ కదా So this is the eagle eye camera. So it's similar to the camera on the bus. Small wings.
For wingers only, for wingers, I believe in the robo. And I just see the bone and keep betting on the bone. Once I reach certain stage, then I verify with the image and seeing the image will be. So that you can save time. Maybe each burring we can pick up in 5 minutes. If you see there, coordination may be little difficult except for arthroscopy. Arthroscopy a little more laxity, little more laxity. Then you can just include it by one element. Just like we restart.
I'm not saying
Put some mid-cycle laxity.
this is a kind of graph which we get on like this. The whole range of motion remains under whatever.
It shows the lateral tightness, middle tightness, and lateral laxity.
And this is the patient report which we can give it to the patient or surgeon.
And the bilateral here, what we are doing is, first here we are doing, second we are trying to doing it manually. Single way, Today we had a patient say one side robo and second side is manual. From tomorrow onwards we make this walk. So we can have, you can see the patient. This is the robotic. We have pinhole system. So since we know members they are being close to the contact, not just inside the wound we are placing them. So if you place outside the wound, then they go a little large. Inside the wound we are placing them. And it is very good line. This tibia is penetrated, but otherwise we stop near the spine cord. Initially we put little more torque, but once we go to the mid level, we have to just so we should not just press the trigger. Allow it to rotate for few turns. That way it's not. Let me be frank. If I operate 5 cases, 4 cases, 3 are going to stop near the second quarter. They are not going to be, but one is going to. One in this knee has but this femur is going to be a little hard. Just like a shell. So the click is. So we do the middle, periostal sleeve, this we do. All excision of menisci. Here this knee we are doing both excision of both PCL and ACL and cruciate ligaments because they are using this post-substituted knee. This is the only soft tissue we relate to. Then we go ahead with the entire surgery. At the time of planning, we know how much medial tightness is going to exist, going to remain. If it's going to remain, then we will do the medial tightness. Otherwise, we
Cementation and all safe.
then next we go in for placement of the cell.
So sometimes posterior osteophytes ఉన్నప్పుడు అది నార్మల్ కట్ చేసిన తర్వాత
Posterior osteophytes ఉన్నప్పుడేమో then and you have to give some what is the you have to consider them suppose there is only posterior osteophytes only on the medial femoral cortex. So then we see that there is tightness is there on the medial side inflection. Both the sides it is there, then we give some transitions. That's all. This is calculation purposes.
Okay.
But For rope, it gives a very accurate final result.
ఎఫ్ఎఫ్డి ఉన్నప్పుడు కూడా ఫిక్స్డ్ సెక్షన్ డిఫార్మిటీస్ ఉన్నప్పుడు కూడా అది కూడా ఫాస్ట్
మీకు మనకి దీంట్లోనే రోబోలోనే అవన్నీ కరెక్ట్ చేస్తాం.
కరెక్ట్ చేస్తుంది.
అన్ని రోబోలో కరెక్ట్ చేస్తాం. సో అంటే బిఫోర్ వీ పుట్ బర్ mild and moderate deformities, everything is corrected on the.
మ్యాపింగ్ టైంలోనే మొత్తం అంతా
Everything is corrected before final. Here before we start worrying for mild and moderate. When this tightness exists, I know how much I have to release after the bone cut stage. If all these grafts are neutral, means normal to the midline, there is no soft tissue disease, absolutely not. But these means crest parameters staying near to the baseline will happen with only mild and moderate deformities, not with gross deformities. Absolutely not. Gross deformities, this is going to show tightness, this is going to show tightness. And you will have an idea, so I have to do the video release this much release. Then the tightness also will show 4 mm, 3 mm, 2 mm. For a beginner, just about to give a hint. If there's a tightness in extension, since you're going to some amount of effect will also be there on the flexion also. You have to keep some tightness even on the flexion component, flexion side also. The flexion side bringing both the parameters to the neutral line, and this tightness trying to adjust is not going to solve the problem. So you have to see that there is medial tightness. It should be in extension and flexion. In extension it is 4 mm. I leave it around 3 mm or 3 mm. Flexion, and when I release this is also
both are related.
For mild and moderate how I felt this, we wanted our team to do it. My last 5 years of career after that, I want to become like this person. It's good for the team. Anyway, what somebody asked me, my wife asked me, my mother asked me, do you get money out of retaining properties for you? I want to give it. That's the reason why the price that it should be only hospital is not going to pay single rate. As of today, next 50 cases or so, and then the census and per money to be paid by you. I'm not taking any money from you. Okay, see, and we want to take we want to take we open up the we are the other consultants no longer taking. Get an idea that you're interested in it. You alignment is very good. Let me be frank. Alignment is very good. Ligament balance is again tells you something, so it gives you some idea, but it's not 100%.
It is
It's completely surgeon's responsibility, surgeon's criteria, surgeon's calculations. 100% alignment is very good, excellent, but ligament balance is not. A lot of times we felt that so this why are we getting this? Especially posterior femoral osteopaths. When you remove them, you don't get. Again, that's a good machine for beginning therapy. You have an added advantage, but it gives you some idea about the cuts, some idea about ligament balance. That's how we feel. Using technology is 100% helpful.